when his hand accidentally brushed against her hip. The moment she was pulled onto the dock, she spun around and slapped him across the face. She screamed at him, calling him a pervert for trying to cop a feel. A crowd gathered and people tried to defend him, but the more they spoke up, the harder she swung at him. She kept shouting that he was a disgusting creep. Then someone noticed something was off about Leo. He wasn't fighting back or even defending himself. He just kept mumbling that he needed to get back to the hospital for surgery. Just as the woman was about to hit him again, another woman ran up. She shouted that they had just made a massive mistake by laying a hand on him. The man they had been calling a pervert was Dr. Leo, a legendary surgeon. 10 minutes earlier, he had finished a 72-hour surgery. He had literally pulled a little girl back from the brink of death. As he was walking out of the hospital, a wealthy man knelt before him with his son. He begged Leo to save his boy, whose condition only Leo could treat. The hospital chief told the man that Leo desperately needed rest. He explained that Leo had godlike surgical skills, but his mind worked differently. Right then, Leo grabbed the boy and started pulling him toward the oar. The chief stopped him and insisted he rest for at least 2 hours. Leo told the chief to get the boy prepped and into the oar to wait for him. The wealthy man was overwhelmed with relief that his son had a chance. Meanwhile, on his way to rest, Leo saw a woman slip and fall into the water. He sprinted over, threw off his jacket, and dove in after her. The woman Leo had nearly killed himself to save turned out to be that wealthy man's wife. She didn't show a shred of gratitude. She was convinced Leo had deliberately groped her under the water. She kept hitting him, calling a man like him a brainless creep who had no right to touch the wife of a mogul. Luckily, Leo's colleague passed by and saw what was happening. She lost it and told everyone there was a child lying in an operating room waiting for him. The woman scoffed at this. She mocked Leo, saying a clueless fool like him couldn't possibly be a surgeon. Her friend pulled out her phone and started live streaming. In front of the camera, she smeared Leo as a predator who groped women. She urged viewers to join in and cyberbully him. She told him she didn't care what act he was putting on. If he didn't get on his knees and apologize, he wasn't leaving. Leo's colleague begged them to be reasonable. She insisted he truly was a doctor and had to get to surgery. Suddenly, a taxi pulled up. Leo saw it and bolted toward the car like a madman. He kept saying he had to get back to the hospital for surgery. The woman thought he was trying to run and charged at him. She shoved him hard to the ground, and he nearly got hit by a passing car. The crowd gasped in shock. Leo struggled to his feet, grabbed the taxi door handle, and yelled at the driver to take him to the hospital for his surgery. The driver assumed they were running a scam and drove off cursing. Just then, the woman lunged forward to slap Leo again. His colleague jumped in to block her. Being held back only made the woman more furious. She threatened everyone standing there who had helped the idiot would pay for it. She pulled out her phone and called her wealthy husband. At that moment, the husband was pacing outside the oar, anxiously waiting for Leo. The second he heard his wife had been wronged, he sent a whole crew of his men to back her up. Within minutes, a row of luxury cars roared up. With backup behind her, the woman grew even more brazen. She ordered her men to pin Leo down. The onlookers were too terrified to say another word. She told the creep they were far from finished. She demanded he get on his knees and apologize while shouting that he was a pervert. Otherwise, he wasn't going anywhere. Leo just kept repeating that he had to save someone. The woman thought he was blowing her off. She had her men bring a marker and scrawled the word pervert across the back of his white coat. She planned to parade him through the streets and show everyone what happens when you cross the wife of a tycoon. A bystander had seen enough and stepped forward. They asked if she had any conscience left. They said the